Hi, I'm Max Writer, and we'll be talking about Star Trek Online's sets. And this one will be the Krenim Temporal Manipulation set, otherwise known as the Butterfly set. As this is a space set, we'll be covering that. As always, that many of the space weapon sets, including this one, will have more parts than the set number of pieces that to be set bonuses. And as this, like many of us, have multiple weapon types that provide the same bonus. Most of these weapons types are exclusive and only count for one token of the bonus. And as I said, multiple reputation sets have multiple flavours, whilst lots of us have beam cannon variants of the same set. In this game, it is a beam and cannon variant. And this is one of the second 360 beam or omnidirectional beam we've come across, and it's the first time we've actually covered the 360 beam array rules. 360 beam arrays, like most other beam weapons, take beam enhancing powers such as beam fire at will, beam overload, and various other ones. They are basically a standard beam array, but that is can be equipped anywhere and fired forward or backwards, no matter which slot you put it in. Unlike turrets, there are limits to how many 360 beams you can equip. As a time of writing, you can only equip one set piece and one crafted or lockbox 360 beam array, for a total of 2. The Borg kinetic cutting beam from the Omega set does not count towards this above total, despite being its own category. So let's get on to the actual pieces of our set. So we'll start with the Science Temporal Disentanglement Suite. The numbers here are for Mark 12 variants, so you get 4 auxiliary power, 20% maximum shield, 0 to 2.5 critical chance based on your auxiliary power, 0 to 10% critical severity, how much damage you do when you get a critical hit, and additional shield resistance. This is not a particularly bad piece of equipment. It's a nice filler piece if you happen to have it, as what's the 4 auxiliary power is not particularly bad. It's a nice boost throughout all the things. Next is the 360 beam array, or the omnidirectional quantum infused Tetrium beam array Mark 12. Yeah, and again, this is a 360 degree targeting at 2, and it does Tetrium damage to the target, and like all of the beam arrays, it drops 10% power weapon power to the ship it's on while this weapon is firing. It also has a 2.5 chance to do 198.9 Tetrium damage to a ship, to an enemy ship. It ignores shields, so that goes straight to the hull, and the damage is doubled, and the resistance, and it places resistances on against Heralds or Iconian ships. Very nice to have if you were fighting Heralds, which we were doing when we were doing this episode. Yeah, but it also has a 10% accuracy bonus as well, so you make it hit. So next on, if you are a Canon Fan, you can pick up the Anti-Chronoton infused Tetrium turret Mark 12. Again, as a turret, it has a 360 degree targeting arc. This time it does Tetrium damage, and for reasonable DPS. Like all turrets, it drops 8 weapon power to self when the weapons are firing, and it has a 2.5% chance to do texturing damage against shields, against the enemies, and ignores the shields, and does double damage against and pierces resistances when you against else. Unlike the beam away, you get plus 20 accuracy. Pretty decent all around. Now, most people will be picking up flying a ship with a warp core, so you'll be wanting to be equipping, considering the temporal phase overcharged warp core Mark 12. Now, this provides additional auxiliary power 7.5, and this bonus is actually a bonus affected on your actual auxiliary power. You can actually add 5% add 5 maximum power, so you can, if you somehow have the ability to break 125 auxiliary power, you now can get it to 130 with this warp core alone. No. You also get the 17.5 extra electroplasma flow, which increases power transfer rate. This is one of the reasons why some people recommend this warp core, because it moves. You can move a lot of the. It means that you can get your power from where you have it to where you need it. Very nice to have. You also get 17.5 Starship weapon core efficiency, which improves your power levels when they're low. So if you have something drop down low, it puts a bit more power into it. It also adds 17.5 of auxiliary power to your shield as a bonus power. So if you punch up your auxiliary power, you get a bit more. You get more shields based on your auxiliary. Very nice to have. And you get small slipstream bonus as well. And if you in your built-in clicker is the temporal phase capacitor. It boosts your auxiliary power and recharge of both of your abilities. It targets it yourself. It's on a 4-minute cooldown, so once you trigger it, you've got to wait 4 minutes before you can use it again. It repairs disabled auxiliary systems, so some abilities you'll be able to use again, and any bridge officer gets will get a 50% recharge time reduction for about 15 seconds. So you can basically fire off some of your bridge officer powers again once they hit global cooldown. And there's also a 15 auxiliary power setting for 15 seconds. So good chunk of that auxiliary power, additional auxiliary power to your ship. Very nice. Moving on to if you happen to have a Romulan ship, you will need the temporal phase overcharge singularity car. Mark 12 this one is, and you get additional auxiliary power based on your singularity charge level. And again, you also pick up the EPS power bonus, or the electroplasma system bonus, and same with the particle generator, which is also pretty nice. You also get the slipstream bonus from the standard warp core. Now, there's also improved singularity shielding, which means that if you activate the Romulan Warbird's quantum absorption power, you will get additional resistances to all damage. And you also get the Romulan equivalent, the Romulan Warbird's equivalent to the previous capacitor, with this one being giving almost exact same things, but slightly differently. Drains your singularity power to augment your aux power. It drains your it repairs your your auxiliary systems, and also gives your bridge officers ability to recharge, and it does it a lot longer because it's not the ability to charge your singularity core. Is not the same as waiting for 4 minutes otherwise. But you do have to give up. And you can gain up to 30 auxiliary power based on your singularity level, and your singularity level does take time to increase. So to get that bonus, you do quite a bit of damage already. Now this is set, so the warp cores you can understand be separate, but one topic one. But yes, let's get moving on to our set bonuses. We have the Anaconda focusing, which is for running the tech, which gives you Tetron damage. Very useful if you're picking up the beam array or the turret, because the turret and the beam array do not will count as the same item and do not really mean anything. Or you can look at the Anaconda infused Tetron discharge. This is an AoE attack, and it affects 10 foes in your immediate area in the 10 kilometer sphere. Adds a 2-minute recharge and does Tetron damage to all the people around you. And of course, it now shields and does double damage against helds. I've personally not used this ability too much. Yeah, the Tetron damage is probably the best thing for it. But then, let's see what this, what I think it's for, and what I think it's for. I think it's for science starter builds, as most science powers require the particle generator and the auxiliary power levels that several of these parts do add. This set pairs nicely with the midnight set that you will see next week, that you can obtain in the next episode. And especially as it's for a long while it was the only 360 Tetron beam array for a while, outside of the crafted set. It does really, if you want to use Tetrons, this does happen to give you a slight but quite a bit of a decent boost to it. But this happens to be considered not the best, due to considering that the Tetron weapon is commonly considered the worst out of the 6 energy types. But I'm saying the worst out of the 6, and it's not particularly bad either. But still, big question is, have I actually used it? And the answer is yes, I have. And for a long while, Suzanne, my science character, actually run the full set. And that's like around, know how bad the some parts are. Actually, quite a few of my other characters actually use parts of this set while I was working towards another set that I used. Most of my other characters now use the Temporal Defense Initiative Starship technologies from the Temporal Rep, or in a few cases an Imperial Rift set from Revolution, which is a event only set which came from last year. I considered better than this one, but it's not a, you can't be, if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. But it's not a bad set, and I'm gonna say next time we'll think about doing the midnight set. This has been Mike Sharkwriter. See you guys next time.